Okay, we are recording. So sorry about the glare. There's really nothing I can do about that. But I have everything set up. Today I'm going to be having some tea. This is unsweetened iced tea by Lipton. I have my little coffee maker here, so excuse me while it gets a little bit loud. Okay, sorry about that. Focus. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and get my coffee running. So if you hear that noise, that's what that is. Hopefully it's not too loud. So these videos are generally filmed in the morning. So sorry if my voice is a little raspy. One thing, but I wanted to share with you guys, one thing that I discovered that I really liked is I like drinking tea with creamer. So I have some Coffee Mate hazelnut creamer, and I'm super excited to put it in my tea. So I posted the first episode of the Social Hour yesterday. It has received really good excuse me response, and I'm super duper happy about that. Excuse me, guys. So this is episode 2, and I thought I would give it a little bit more structure, and maybe along the line, since I'm already super duper invested in it now, film a little introduction video so people know what it's about specifically. So this new segment is not a Let's Talk video. It's called The Social Hour, and this is just where I feel like the anything else section in my podcast can fit into. Sorry about the glare, guys. So that is the anything else, for the podcast. I want to keep it strictly to, well, the Crochet Corner podcast. I want to keep it strictly to what I'm making, and this segment gives me a way to express the things that I don't really feel like are necessary to talk about when I'm doing the visual podcast. So I usually, have so many things that I want to talk about with you guys that I'm like, oh, the video is already so long. Let's, just move on. I don't ever want my videos to be an hour. So again, my tea is being made. Ooh, it sounds so good. Okay, so with that being said, welcome to the Social Hour. My name is Kai. I am the host. This is more of like a formal type podcast that you would see where it's just the audio, but I love the visual aspect so you guys can still see my face. I'm about to get my tea ready. I'm so excited, you guys. Like, I've been waiting for this. Ooh, let's get some ASMR action in there. I've been waiting for this, and I love specifically the hazelnut creamer. You just hear my machine chugging away. So this is a $20 fake Keurig that I got from Walmart, and it works like a dream. It is a single cup coffee maker, because ain't nobody got Keurig money up in the house. So we're just going to be $20ing it up over here. In my humble opinion, $20 is more than enough for a coffee machine. Cool. I wanted a Keurig, and I've always wanted one, but them Keurigs be expensive. One second, guys. Sorry, guys. I've been needing some tea in my life. So, ooh, I like that sound. Ooh, that's beautiful. Pour that creamer in now. Yay. Sorry, guys. I'm like easily excitable. Ooh, that is so pretty. And this also is a good way if you're trying to cut down on sugar to not have any sugar. And me being me, I didn't even bring a spoon. One second, guys. So I'm about to stir this. Ooh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. You guys don't know how much I've been waiting for this tea. Ooh, more ASMR. Okay. So, let us get this show on the road with our first sip. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I'm just hitting this mic. I'm still getting used to like the microphone. I keep hitting the pop filter. That's what I keep hitting. So, like I said in my last video, the camera is connected to my laptop, which acts as my viewfinder. So if you see me like going like that, I'm just trying to make sure that our visuals are okay. My tablet is acting as my way of keeping track of my notes, and then the camera is right here. So sorry if I'm like looking all over, guys. But let us get into it. So hello guys, welcome to the social hour. So today topic is going to line up directly into what I talked about yesterday, but it was a little bit unorganized. So I decided to organize it a little bit and go into more depth about what I meant. So this is more of like the informational side. So good. Today's topic of discussion is going to be about, I actually have two questions. Feel free to answer them in the comments below. Open forum. I love hearing from you guys. So the topic of discussion for today is like it was last week, designing. It's more specifically stealing work. And the two questions I have for you today are, can you be inspired by someone's work without copying them? And what are the differences between referencing, being inspired, and straight out copying someone's work? So, excuse me. So those are the two questions that I will be answering from my own personal opinions, and I would like to hear from you all. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. So to answer the first question, can you be inspired by someone's work without copying them? I wholeheartedly believe that you can. Now, I am going to be talking more about when it comes to movie characters and things of that nature. And then next I will be talking about like when I progress further on, I will be talking about like if you just see someone's like top and you're like, oh, I love that top and I need to recreate it. So let's do first things first. So yes, you can. I believe that we draw inspiration from everywhere. Now, many people in our community have tried their hand at designing, and there are so many designs and patterns out there and people coming up with new things that a lot of the time what we don't notice is when we are designing ourselves, we are still drawing inspiration from what other people have created. Now, it is just our unique takes on it and our unique stitch combinations. So I will be giving a personal example of of being inspired by someone's design, which also ties into referencing, which we will be talking about later. Ooh, if I do that, I'm sorry, I will try not to do that, but when my neck needs to crack, I gotta crack it. So, everyone knows that I am designing a shawl. And with this shawl, it actually came from another pattern. Now, I did not copy that pattern, so don't come for me. Just listen. I was making a pineapple shawl for my mom, and I had seen it on Ravelry. And when I was working on it, I wasn't really understanding the pattern too well. And honestly, I was getting really bored. And the only reason why I was creating it in the first place was because I really wanted to learn how to create a half moon shawl or a half circle shawl, but I didn't know how one was constructed. So when I was initially getting the increases, ooh, sorry guys, computer is being loud. When I was getting the increases, I really noticed that, I wasn't too fond of how the pattern was going. So I decided to do my own thing, and I put my stitches where I wanted to put them, and then in the end it became my own. So that pattern inspired me to create my own because it taught me how to create the half moon design. And that's where referencing comes in. So with that pattern, I was able to gain a better understanding of how to do something that I didn't know how to do. And so that's where the inspiration came from. And that's where also the reference came from. So with that being said, this leads into our second question, which states, what are the differences between referencing, being inspired, and copying? So I have the internet dictionary.com definitions of each of those points: referencing, inspiration, and copying. Sorry guys. Ooh, Jesus. So I will be giving the definitions and then my takes on it as well. So referencing to me is the most important one because referencing can get seen as copying. Now, they all can get seen as copying, but I feel like this one has the most gray area at sometimes, because sometimes when it comes to my case, I'm a self-taught crocheter. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to do, and I don't necessarily learn how to do them until I have done someone else's pattern, and then I can be like, okay, these are the bare bones, and now I know how to do it. So the definition of referencing is to have recourse or resort, turn, ask for aid of information. And now I'm going to be focusing more on the ask for aid of information, because that is how many people gained understanding on how to do something that they've never done before. And this isn't even just speaking about the maker community. It is in every aspect of our lives. Now, I'm young, I'm fresh out of school. So when you're writing an essay, they tell you to use reference books, because there is knowledge that you need to write your essay that you don't have. So you're referencing someone else's work, crediting them at the same time. That's where people go wrong. They will reference and their designs will look similar and they won't credit. So we're not going to get into that right now. So like I stated before, I am a self-taught crocheter. So there are many things that I didn't learn or I had to learn on my own. My grandmother, she actually taught me how to crochet, but she taught me how to chain back and forth. Anything else that I do now and I did before, I learned on my own. So when it came to me wanting to try something new and I really wanted this half moon shawl, I had to either be like, oh, well, I'm just going to do someone else's pattern because then I'll have my desired outcome. But when I decided to, instead of do their pattern and reference, I was able to come up with my own unique shawl design. Another example of a time that I referenced another's work, it is specifically Bob Wilson. She was instructing her YouTube community on how to make a raglan sweater, and that confused the hello out of me, y'all. I did not know what she was doing, so I was like, oh, nah. So what I did was I looked at how she created sleeves and I was like, okay, I understand this part. So, I can take that and run. But what I didn't know is that I could have made two panels of the same height, same pattern, different patterns, as long as the same height and the same width, length, all of that was the same. And then sew on, leave holes for arms and sew on sleeves. So at that moment, I did not have an understanding of something that I wanted to do, and I referenced another crocheter's work. And then I started creating my own sweaters and creating my own designs for my sweaters. So what people need to understand is referencing is okay as long as you don't cross that line where you are just basically doing somebody else's work in a different color. I will never condone copying, but in I'm going to say this because I don't know if I'm wrong, but I can only speak about what I know and what I see. It is coming from a lot of the younger generation where they are just going after people and not seeing that no, they are not copying you. You know, a lot of us have the same aesthetics at our age that we are now, and we enjoy the same things. So I just want this discussion to educate people and for you guys to educate me as well. So next, that also goes into inspiration. Now, inspiration is not necessarily like a gray area. It's just more of, it just straddles the, the lines of copying. So it's a little tricky, but I found the definition. It was to be inspired. Inspiration is just another synonym for, wait, not synonym. Ooh, guys, ignore that, okay? I ain't been in school for a while. Anyway, we gonna cut that out. It's just another way of saying I was inspired. So inspiration is defined as to influence or impel. So inspiration is all around us. There are many things in our lives that inspire us. So, guys, I gotta take a drink break, man. That's good. Okay, so, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. So my personal take on inspiration, specifically when it comes to the crocheting and knit community, let us break it down and base it off of something. So we can base it off of colors, yarn types, characters that we see in movies, and basically things that we see in our everyday life. So let's keep it within those parameters. So let me be specific. You can be inspired by anything, and a lot of the times, a lot of us have the same likes and the same aesthetics. There is a whole entire community just dedicated to Harry Potter. Dedicated to, I mean, Harry Potter is my bias, so I don't really know, but I'm just saying. So if somebody is inspired by Harry Potter, what you doing? That's Brody. He got in trouble today, y'all. You lay down. No. You lay down. You lay down. You bad boy today. Sorry, guys. So if somebody is inspired by Harry Potter and they crochet or they knit, do you really think that that their design or what they make is not gonna look like yours? Harry Potter is pretty, Gryffindor is red and gold, Hufflepuff is yellow and black, Slytherin, Ravenclaw. Those colors are those colors. So as an example, I just recently got into yarn dyeing. If I was to create a Harry Potter Hufflepuff colorway, do you not think that there are going to be 1,000 other Harry Potter Hufflepuff colorways out there that look exactly like mine? There are going to be thousands of those. Hundreds, I don't know. I just recently got into yarn. I'm still learning about yarn types and all of that. But I'm saying, sometimes people are just inspired by the same things. And it happens. Another example is, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Many people are inspired by something that somebody else creates. So this is where inspiration just goes into copying. Okay, because it's technically copying, but there are some things that you can do to just, and this is mainly, oh, okay, so let me actually set the mood. I'm sorry, guys. Let me set the mood. So check it. You're on Pinterest, Instagram, your crochet group, and Facebook, any of those platforms, and you see the cutest purse that you have ever seen in your life, and you got to have that purse. So you're asking everybody, and you are searching, and you cannot find a pattern for this purse. So you sit down and you stare at that picture, and you create that purse, and it looks exactly like that purse you saw in online. You did it down to the T. You're proud. That is technically copying. That is also technically inspiration. Am I wrong? You let me know. I don't think I'm wrong, but I might be wrong. I always want to hear from you guys. Now let me tell you how to keep people from coming for you for copyright infringement, and how you could stay ethical in this situation. Do not sell that. That is not your work. You did not spend those hours, them days, those weeks, months coming up with that pattern. You keep that for personal use. Just like when you buy a DVD at the store, you're not supposed to copy and distribute to all your friends because they want to watch it. No, you keep that one copy. And if somebody else wants it, you make them one, and you say, but this is not my design. When you post it on your social media, you say, this is not my design. I got it from such and such place. I do not know where the pattern is, and I do not take credit for this work. This person right here did this. But before you even sit down, you know, I would have screwed you all up. Before you even sit down and you write that and you sit there and you figure that out, you need to ask them first. Excuse me, because they might have the pattern. They might be like, oh yeah, just give me credit. Oh yeah, it costs this much. Do not distribute or sell something that you did not create, or unless you have permission from that person. I had to lean in on my mic, y'all. I had to lean in. This goes for free patterns as well. Those patterns you can find on allcrochet.com or Lion Brand's website. All of those. Do not read somebody's pattern and sell it as your own. And if you sell it, you need to get permission to do so. Sometimes I've actually seen this in a pattern. At the bottom, it'll say, this pattern is copyrighted. It is okay to sell as long as you give me credit. I have seen that, and there are patterns that do that. But if that instruction is not clear and you have not gotten in contact with that designer, leave it alone, y'all. Leave it alone. That is when you straight out have copied someone's work, and if they come for you, you deserve it. I'm gonna just let you know. If they come for you, you deserve it. Now, and then always think about how somebody else would, how you would feel if you crochet the most awesome, most greatest, most epic thing in your life, and you posted it and everybody loves it, and somebody has taken it and posted a picture that you posted, or a picture of what they recreated from your pattern, and said, DM me for orders. Oh no, baby. You would be upset, because I know I would be upset. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this mic right. Can you see me? Yeah. Just always, when you think that when you're doing something, you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because that will tell you whether what you're doing is right or wrong. That's how you will know. So lastly, Just taking my time. Ooh, this video is long. So lastly, let us get into that good old straight up, I copied your work. Okay, y'all? Straight up. And I'm sorry if I'm a little it was my first video and I was like, oh, a little formal. No, that's not how I am. That is not how I am, guys. So I'm not about to fake it. I can't do it. So lastly, now I can't see my notes. Jesus. Let us define copying. Copying is defined as an imitation, reproduction, or transcript of an original. Let's highlight original. This is our highlight. So, copying is not a difficult thing to tackle when you think about it. Like I said, take yourself out of your shoes and how much you want to make this item and put it in the original designer's shoes. So, I have come up with 3 ways a person can be copying your work. So, way number 1, reposting your design without crediting you, whether they make the item or not. This is such a huge issue right now. It is ridiculous that people are even doing this. One of my favorite crocheters ever, her name is Norvana on Instagram. She's amazing. She makes beautiful work. One place I found just was reposting her pictures saying, DM me for orders. Excuse me. And another place she found where they're just reposting her pictures and saying items available. No, that is copying. Especially because she has not written a pattern for that. And you should not profit off of her work. And that's why I said the whole recreating, inspiring thing is a gray area, because it's like it's still copying. But I feel like, I'm not saying it's right, but I personally feel like as long as you just keep it for yourself and nobody knows about it, like, that's the best thing that you can do, because people are going to do what they're going to do. You know, we cannot control human behavior. The only thing we can do is rise above what others do to us. So with that being said, guys, please, if you are out there and you know somebody that does it, or you are someone that does it, I'm pretty sure like a lot of the designers would just like credit for their work. And if they ask you to take it down, baby, take it down. Don't fight them. Come on, guys. Number 2, somebody is buying your patterns and selling them as your own. Like your pattern is on Ravelry and they download and they just copy it and then they sell it to somebody. First of all, who does that? It happens more often than you think. And secondly, that is straight out copying. Like, there are no ifs, ands, buts, or ways around it. You should not be doing that. You didn't come up with that pattern, sis. Sis, you did not come up with that pattern. And number 3 is when you or someone downloads free patterns and you sell the design from that free pattern without crediting the original maker. Free patterns are iffy because they're free and you think free. Okay, but somebody still came up with that pattern. They still spent those days, hours, weeks, months doing this. So unless it specifies otherwise in the pattern or you have asked them, do not distribute that work. Like I said, we are not in control of human behavior. We can only rise above what people do to us. But still, let's make the world, I'm shaking the table. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's make the world a better place and do all we can to make sure that, we are not slighting people, whether it be on accident or intentionally. So, I have some examples of copying, but I don't really necessarily feel that they're important. But I want to just go ahead and give my final thoughts. I feel like those 3 examples are self-explanatory. Jesus. Self-explanatory. So I want to go ahead and give my final thoughts to what we just talked about. The reason why this has come up is because the maker, well, at least I just feel like things have become so selfish, guys. You know, I've seen some crazy people coming after someone for a design that is, sorry, a design that is not personally yours. Like if you're making a basic top with some ruffles, you know, you can't get mad if somebody do the same thing because you don't own the design. Okay, that makes sense unless you put your unique twist. And you could tell they sat there and they were like, okay, so she got 1 2 3 4 5 6, you know, that's copying. But other than that, you guys, it's really important that we know how, I mean, not how, but we know the differences between those things so that when we are addressing people for what they do, we are not compromising our integrity in the process. And that's exactly, you know, this is the main purpose of this discussion. It's because I've seen a lot of people's integrity being compromised because they've come after somebody and then you realize that nobody's agreeing with you because, you know, you kind of look a little stupid. I mean, stupid is not the right word, but I'm just saying you don't have that knowledge to know that they didn't copy your work. So I hope that with that being said, I don't want you guys to assume that I hate the community. No, with anything with a big following, it comes with its drawbacks and its setbacks. And being, you know, the crochet community is really small, but I'm just trying to enlighten and lift, if that makes sense, guys. And I just want us to all know and be educated on the things so that, you know, we can just be the best people, positive. And if somebody is copying your work, you address it, but don't ever compromise your business and how you look to your followers by calling anybody out their name. Just address it, get it over with, and make it legal if you have to. And that's all I gotta say, guys. That's all I gotta say. So thank you for tuning into the episode 2 of the Social Hour. I hope you guys love these videos. Like I said, this is an open forum discussion. Please comment in the description box below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next one.